So, do you get confused while selection of suitable capillary column for your GC separation? Would you like to understand the better way of selecting a right column at very first step? Then you are at the right place. Because in this video, I am going to explain you how one can select the optimum capillary column for your GC separation. And here we go with the presentation. So I have taken four different examples to explain you what are the different factors you must consider for selection of the suitable GC capillary column. The first example is methanol, then hexane, then ACN, that is acetonitrile plus methylene dichloride, and the last one is the acetonitrile, methylene dichloride, and isopropyl alcohol. Right. So, with the help of these four example, I will explain you how one can suitably select a capillary column for your GC separation. So, let us start with the first one, that is methanol. So, what are the properties of the methanol that needs to be understood? So here are the different properties of the methanol. So how is the methanol solvent in terms of the polarity? So the methanol solvent is polar because of the presence of hydrogen bond. It exhibits hydrogen bonding and that makes methanol, the more polar. The boiling point of methanol is 65 degrees Celsius. So I'm going to explain you by taking three examples starting from non-polar stationary phase, mid-polar stationary phase and the highly polar stationary phase. So if you want to select the non-polar stationary phase, you can take an example of DB1. The example of mid-polar or the polar stationary phase can be your DB624. And the highly polar column can be your polyethylene glycol or the wax column. So now these are the three important phases. One is extremely non-polar, another one is extremely polar, and the third one is in between these two stationary phases. So let us understand, if the methanol is a polar compound, right? If the methanol is a polar compound, so what the law of like attracts like says? The law of like attracts like says that the polar compound will get attracted towards the polar compound. So methanol being a polar is going to get attracted towards the polar stationary phase. And if it gets attracted towards the polar stationary phase, it will have more interaction and higher retention times with the polar stationary phase. So this is the first hand information we now got just before beginning the experiment. So what do you expect the retention time of methanol onto the non-polar stationary phase like DB1? Will methanol get retained for good amount of time with the DB1 stationary phase? DB1 is nothing but the 100% dimethyl polysiloxane stationary phase. And this is the practical data that says that the retention time of methanol onto DB1 is 2.15 minutes. And let me also show you the experimental conditions for this exercise. Helium is the carrier gas. The linear velocity of helium is 30 centimeter per second. The column temperature program is this way: 40 degrees Celsius for 5 minutes, then ramp it for from 40 degrees Celsius to 260 degrees Celsius at the rate of 10 degrees Celsius per minute. So these are the crucial information to understand the retention behavior. So on the non-polar stationary phase like DB1, which is 100% dimethyl polysiloxane, the retention time of methanol is only 2.15 minutes. Now what is going to happen with the mid-polar or the polar stationary phase like DB624? See, the DB624 is what? You have a 94% of the dimethyl polysiloxane component and the 6% component will get replaced by what? It will get replaced by cyanopropyl phenyl component. Now what is the cyanopropyl phenyl? The cyanopropyl contains the cyano group C triple bond N. Now this group has the triple bond, right? And this triple bond has a capacity to develop a dipole-dipole interaction. it has a capacity to develop a hydrogen bonding with the another compound. So in case if your compound as like methanol has a capacity to develop a hydrogen bond, it has a capacity to build the dipole-dipole interaction. Can you see that the methanol will have a better chances of interaction with the cyanopropyl phenyl group or the DB624 stationary phase? It of course, right? And because of that, you can expect that methanol can get retained for at least some longer time as compared to the DB1. And let us have the look at the retention time, the 2.59 minutes. So you can see that the retention time of methanol has slightly increased just because of what? The addition of cyanopropyl phenyl, which has brought now the dipole-dipole interaction or the hydrogen bond interaction with the methanol, and that has led to a slight increment into the retention time of methanol. Let us talk about the highly polar column like polyethylene glycol or the DB-wax in this example. This wax column, they have a tendency to form hydrogen bond very strongly and easily. So methanol being a molecule can form the hydrogen bond, and the polyethylene glycol can completely interact very much strongly with the methanol, right? And because of that, what is going to happen? The methanol is going to retain for longer time onto the DB wax stationary phase, yes or no? And let us look at the retention time now. Does it reflects our thinking process? It does. The retention time of methanol onto DB wax is 5.40 minutes. So please tell me in the comment box now which is going to be your preferred stationary phase. In case the methanol is the analyte that you want to analyze. Okay, so obviously you can think about the highly polar stationary phase like DB wax. Let us talk about the second compound, that is hexane. So what is the property of the hexane? Right, the hexane is more non-polar compound. Hexane is a non-polar compound, and because of that, all non-polar compounds, their retention gets governed because of the London dispersion forces. The interaction of the all non-polar compounds will get strongly governed by the London dispersion forces. The boiling point of hexane is 68 degrees Celsius. Now let us talk about again the three different stationary phases: non-polar stationary phase, mid-polar stationary phase, and the highly polar stationary phase. So hexane being a non-polar compound, what do you expect? The retention of hexane onto the non-polar stationary phase like DB1 with the logic of like attracts like. The hexane should get attracted more towards the non-polar stationary phase like DB1, and hence it can exhibit the longer retention time onto the DB1. So let us understand now what is the retention time of hexane onto the DB1, and it is 6.25 minute. So if the 6.25 minute is the retention time for hexane onto the DB1, can you guess any retention time for hexane onto the mid-polar stationary phase like DB624, where the chances of retention of polar compound gets increased, but the chances of now the retention of non-polar compounds must have get decreased, the reduced. So the non-polar compounds like hexane will have a lesser interaction with the DB624, and what you can expect out of that, a little reduced retention time. So from 100% dimethyl polysiloxane, which is a DB1 stationary phase, you have a 6.25 minute as a retention time for the hexane. But when the 6 percentage of the dimethyl polysiloxane stationary phase got replaced by the cyanopropyl phenyl, because of which the column's polarity got increased, and hence the interaction, the likeliness of interaction of a non-polar compound with now so-called stationary phase, which is becoming 624, has slightly reduced. and that has resulted into a reduction into the retention time, which is 5.82 minutes. This is because of replacement or addition of, the addition of 6% cyanopropyl phenyl component, which is a polar in the nature. The stationary phase has become little polar, and hence the interaction of such a stationary phase with the non-polar compound like hexane should get reduced. And the same is well reflected into the practical data. Now the third one is the highly polar stationary phase like PG or the DB-wax. So you can easily understand that, being a non-polar compound and a polar column, they will not have much interaction. They will not have much interaction because the DB-wax columns govern the retention with the help of formation of hydrogen bonding. Does hexane has any capacity, power to develop hydrogen bonding? It does not, and because of that, the hexane will never get interacted much with the DB-wax stationary phase. And out of this, you can expect that the least retention time for hexane onto the DB-wax, it is only 2.05 minutes. Now, with the help of this data, you can easily understand that which one is the better stationary phase in your application. Okay, I would have gone with the mid-polar stationary phase like DB624, but it again depends on to the actual application. So let us talk about the mixture of compound containing acetonitrile and the methylene dichloride. So what are the properties of the ACN and the methylene dichloride? And here it is on the screen. See, the both of them are slightly non-polar, but the methylene dichloride is more polar, non-polar than the ACN, or ACN is polar than the dichloromethane, the second statement, right? ACN is polar because of what? Because of C triple bond N, and the nitrogen can have the lone pair electrons, and because of that, the ACN becomes polar in the nature as compared to dichloromethane. The boiling point of ACN is 64 degrees Celsius and boiling point of methylene dichloride is 40 degrees Celsius. So now let us discuss what is going to happen, as per as the retention of these two compounds onto these three different stationary phases. So what do you expect this non-polar stationary phase must do in retaining your ACN and methylene dichloride? So what is more polar in between this ACN and methylene dichloride? It is ACN, right? So does the ACN going to have much interaction with the non-polar stationary phase? It will not. But the methylene dichloride, which is a little non-polar as compared to ACN, that can have a more interaction with the non-polar stationary phase like DB1. So you can expect that ACN being a least interactive compound, elute first, and the dichloromethane, which can interact with the non-polar stationary phase, can have the higher retention time. And let us look the practical data, right? So ACN, as expected, has found with the lesser retention time, which is 2.87 minutes, as compared to MDC with the 3.85 minutes onto the non-polar stationary phase. So what do you expect when it comes to the mid-polar stationary phase or polar stationary phase like DB624? You can expect that the ACN, you can expect that the ACN, which earlier did not have much interaction, can have the better interaction. Even dichloromethane, which is also a polar in the nature, can also have the better interaction, and that can result into the increase in the retention time for both these compounds. And let us understand their retention times onto the DB624. So ACN has found with the 4.27 minutes as the retention time, and MDC has got retained at 4.80 minutes. So we found that as the column's polarity increased, the retention of both these compounds has also got increased. Means that these compounds has got retained for the longer time with the polar stationary phases. So what to expect the retention of ACN and MDC onto the highly polar stationary phase like DB-wax, right? And you are right because they are now going to increase the retention time further. So ACN got 8.16 and MDC got 6.18. Now here is the another important point that you must have observed. When it comes to the retention of MDC, you can see that there is a fall in retention of the MDC as compared to ACN when it comes to the highly polar stationary phase. Now why this is so? Because ACN is more polar that as compared to MDC. So the ACN is going to have much more interaction with the stationary phase and not the MDC, and because of that now the MDC is getting eluted early as compared to the ACN. ACN is non-polar as compared to the ACN. ACN is more polar as compared to MDC. So on the polar stationary phase, the polar column will retain for the longer time. And with this logic, the ACN has got retained for the longer time onto the dBwax, that is 8.12 minute, as compared to MDC, which is only retaining up to 6.18 minute. Now let us talk about the mixture of sample containing ACN, MDC and IPA, that is acetonitrile, methylene dichloride and IPA. So what are the chemical properties of these three different solvents? So they are altogether non-polar, but if you look at the polarity, the ACN is more polar as compared to IPA and IPA is more polar as compared to MDC. Okay, so the polarity is very important because we are going to talk about the retention based on to their polarities. The boiling point of ACN is 64 degrees Celsius. The boiling point of IPA is 83 degrees Celsius and boiling point of MDC is 40 degrees Celsius. So let us understand their retention behavior onto again these three compounds, that is non-polar, mid-polar and then the highly polar. So what do you expect to happen onto the non-polar stationary phase like Db1? So you can say that based onto this polarity range, MDC will have the higher retention time being a highly non-polar as compared to rest of the two solvents, and ACN being highly polar can have the least retention time, and IPA must come in between these two. So let us understand, what is happening practically. So can you see the practically the same thing happening over here? IPA is getting eluted in between the ACN and MDC. ACN being a polar has the least interaction and eluting very fast, and MDC being a non-polar has a good amount of interaction and hence eluting late into the chromatographic run. So this is the way the non-polar stationary phase like Db1 can help you out in separation of these three compounds. The second column is now the midpolar or the Db624. The column's polarity has slightly increased. The non-polarity component has replaced by the polar components, which is 6% cyanopropyl So what do you expect now out of this addition of 6% cyanopropyl as a brand name of Db624? You can expect that the ACN must have the better interaction with the 6% cyanopropyl. Same is the case applicable for the IPA, and same even can get applicable to the MDC also. And let us understand now what is the retention order for these three compounds. ACN 4.27, IPA 4.27, MDC 4.80. So can you see that there is a poor resolution observed between ACN and IPA? Right? There is no much selectivity observed between ACN and IPA for the mid-polar compounds. Sorry, for the mid-polar columns like Db624. Now let us understand what is going to happen in case if you use the highly polar column like dBwax. So what do you expect? You can expect that the acetonitrile being a polar between all these three can have the higher amount of retention time, right? And MDC being a non-polar can have the least retention time. So let us understand the exact figures. So can you see that the ACN has the highest amount of retention time, which is 8.12, and MDC being a non-polar has the least retention time, 6.18, and IPA comes in between these two, 6.28. So if I ask you, what is your preferred column for this separation, what is your answer? Are you going to select DB1 or DB624 or the DB WAGs? Okay, the choice is yours. But I would have selected DB1 as my preferred choice of column because there I can have the better selectivity and efficiency, fast throughput of the analysis. Because this data probably may not be suitable, very less separation, but I can further work on onto the initial column temperature or the carrier gas flow rate so that I can further push these all three components to the comfortable resolution figures. So I hope uh, after running these four different examples, that is methanol, hexane, the mixture of ACN plus MDC, the mixture of ACN plus MDC plus IPA, you must have now the better clarity on selection of suitable capillary columns for your GC separations. So thank you very much for watching this video, and as usual I will meet you soon with such kind of very useful videos. Thank you very much.